right. I think we are live. Hopefully. Whoa. Just stop doing whatever you're doing right now. Strange. Okay. I think we're good. Back to our usual late night streams, 10 o'clock here in Utah. Not going to be a very heavy stream. I've been slowly working on some new stuff that is going to come out in the first Throw with the Pros update. I did hit 20 testers opted in on Android, so our 2-week countdown has started as of, I think yesterday. So we're 1 day in. But the goal will be to get this first update out before Android release, and then Android release will obviously include whatever the latest version is. So it'll include everything we're adding in right now. One thing I did add in yesterday, did off stream, was fairly minor, but Global Courses has a search list now. Intending to add more courses to the point that just scrolling may be annoying, but can type in the search bar, and the courses that match will pop up. So that works well. That is new in the app. Today we have some minor, I don't even know if bug fixes is the right word. They're not quite even bugs, but just some improvements that we're gonna make. So the first, I'm gonna sneeze. No, maybe not. In the shop, I've noticed that occasionally when I buy a disc, specifically the collector's disc, sometimes these as well, the currencies here will update, but if you don't have enough, it will still let you buy currency. For whatever reason, the value that it's carrying over to validate your purchase isn't being lowered until this is dismissed. So what I intend to do right now is make it to where every time you buy a disc, if it goes through, this popover closes. And that's going to be a slightly more temporary solution. It's not the cleanest, but it will prevent anyone from having issues with it, which is obviously the goal. So let's go here. So I'm in the shop code, and we're going to find where the buy button exists for the bags. Pressed. Title, not these. This is the one, I think. Else, this button. On pressed purchase disc. And so then I need a check here. So we'll say if rewards, and these are all things that I already have coded in the line above, so it's pretty easy for me to just pull them in because I know that these work. Rewards disc costs. But I do have to determine. See the issue. Another thing we can do is take this off and go var purchase successful is equal to this function. The function will still run. I'm gonna have to go update the function. If purchase successful void. And so we will update the return type of the purchase disk function to be a bool. Return true or false, and then we'll use it here. If purchase is successful, then we need, let's throw that in there and then give me navigator. That's what I want. Then I'm just going to pop STF context, like so. Easy enough. And then we come down to our purchase disk function right here. This is going to be a bool. And we'll go here, var purchase successful is equal to false. Then we just need to go set purchase successful equal to true. And at the very end, return purchase successful. Is it not defined in this function right there? Definitely is. Oh, did I just put it in the wrong one? Yeah, I put it in the sponsor one. Whoops. Let's hide that. And we throw this in here. So once that loads in, I was thinking we would have no more errors, but we still do. Does that work? Yes, a little bit, but it's not going to let me use it here because it's a Can I do that? Await can only be used. How do I get around this? I can do that. We'll have to do a little bit of testing with this. I don't know if making that asynchronous is gonna cause any weird issues. Doesn't want me to use, what's the popover? STF context. Doesn't seem to like it for whatever reason, but to not use the build context. But that's what I want to have happen. I want to hide that. That pops this. How does that work? This. That's strange. Okay, so I guess we just leave this as context, and no, it doesn't like that either. I'm gonna do that. You're not getting away. Like, it's the same line here, is it not? Oh, it's just because it's an asynchronous. I see the issue. Let's get rid of this. Whoa. Okay, now it's changed. There we go. It's a future. It doesn't like that. Everything else is fine. So let's go back down to the function. in our purchase disk, this needs to be a bool, which means that it's not going to like the async. Yep. But that just means that that stuff, everything that I'm saving to the defaults here, needs to be a different save disk purchase. Save disk purchase. What are we saving here? Division unlock progress. I'm essentially just going to pass all of this into this function. That's the goal. Which means that this needs to go in there. And then we need to pass these values in. So this can be division unlock progress is, I think, I'm gonna have to go look it up so I don't get it wrong. Division unlock progress is a double. That was gonna be my guess. List double. Division unlock progress. Disk spot is going to be list int, or is this a bool? Disk spot is definitely bools. Okay. Disk spot list int. I think for number of rounds available. Yes. Number of rounds available. Weather available is this. And I'm doing this to make sure that I'm passing in the correct values and not pulling from a different instance. Payout skewing is going to be a list of bools. Okay. List bool payout skewing available. List bool payout structures available. And so I typed those all in an effort to make it so I could just backspace this out. The rewards portion of each item. And I think this should work fine. That's perfect. Now I can take this and say save disk purchase. And then I just need to copy and paste rewards dot in front of each one. Lovely. Those can go away. And because we don't need that, we can get rid of this and this. And I was thinking that would fix everything. What does it not like still? It's giving me an error here. I'm not sure why. Problems. Oh, right here. Okay. That's easy enough. So now all of our async stuff is in a different function. It's not going to hold up this. This will be able to immediately return a bool. And now we just need to set this value to be true when it is. And that should be all we need. User has enough currency. So it's really just all of these if user has enough currency. Purchase successful is equal to true. And I think that should be it. Let's do a little refresh and see if, so the idea now is when I go buy a disk, that view will pop out. If I don't have enough currency, it won't. Let's test it. I'm always going to have enough currency. It did buy it though. Cool. Bought it and dismisses. Works great. 362. 247. Love it. Love it. Okay. I think that's it. That works well enough. Let's cross that off the list here. Add this here. Fixed bug when excess currency to be used when buying multiple disks at once. So that is done. Write it on my little to-do list here. What else? There was a verbiage issue on one of the tutorials that we're going to go change. Tournament finish tutorial. Up here. Make sure this view is saved. And then I'll exit out of that. Don't need all of these at the moment. All right, and then tournament finished. This is our tutorial. Let's go through this. Congrats on, I don't remember what the typo was, so I gotta go through it. You are, oh, it's this. Wrong your. Finishing your first tournament, your finishing place is shown here, and your payout will be shown below if you placed high enough to earn one. The details button will display more information, and when you are ready, you can tap back to menu. All right, everything else looks good. So I think it was just that one fix. So that's good to go. There was more. I'll at least do one more. Well, let's look at this one. This is going to be an important one. So one thing that you can't do right now when you're creating a tournament is select a different starting hole. And that is definitely something that should be in the app. It's already a scroll view. I have room for it if I need to. Let's get rid of that first, that space at the top. We don't need that. I think this one was padding. Padding 8.0. I forget how I did this. Global courses. This is what I need. And so once I copy this in, that space at the top should get smaller. That space, yeah, there we go. Okay, and now where do I want to throw the starting hole at? Maybe just right underneath the courses, probably. So probably right here. This one I want to be a drop down. Which I have currently in adding a course, I think. I thought I did. Evidently I do not. Global courses. No, I think it's the edit courses page, isn't it? This guy. That's what I want to use to select new starting hole. I think that's what I want to use right now. Drop down button. This is what I want. It's quite the excessive drop down button. I'm gonna want the whole row here. So we copy that, and then we can come back here and just start with this. Gonna have lots of errors right now. That's perfectly fine. Value. Var starting hole is equal to 1. Yep, and then our error, this is going to be starting hole. There we go. Starting hole equals new value. I don't need this. Most of this I'm not going to need. Let's just start by getting rid of all of this. And right now, we can just get the functionality in and see how this looks. Starting hole. And let's come back here. Okay, it doesn't like that. That might be just I need to restart it and not just refresh the page. Because the variable doesn't exist, I don't think, until I actually restart it. Still doesn't like it. Okay, value. Oh, this items issue is the, yes, so that map drop down into, so I guess the first question is, how is that variable set up? Add course data. So that's going to be down under our course variables. It's just a array of integers, okay? So then we can come back here, and underneath where we created that last variable, which was here, possible starting holes is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm going to err on the side of making this as big as it could possibly be, just in the hopes that that would eliminate any potential arrays being too small bugs in case I were to accidentally code this inefficiently. Possible starting holes. I've got our init state here. And then every time a new course is selected, where is that? Here we go. Course selected equals courses for display. Starting hole is equal to 1. And shoot, what did I call it? Possible starting holes. Possible starting holes equals, I need to create a list. list length. How do I create a list in order? What is generate? Let's do this. To create an array in Dart quickly with an int array of 1 to x. This. X is the upper bound of the range. Okay, so I should be able to get rid of that. And then X here is going to be it needs to be the number of holes on the course. Index is starting at 0. And that adds 1 to it. If x is 10, that's the output. So I literally just need to make x equal to that value. I've got the error up here, so I can quickly come back to it. When I hit the button, where am I setting the pars at? Because that's what I need. Here. Selection. Here we go. Course selected. So I need this code, and then we just copy the length. So I come up here, starting hole is equal to 1. Selection is equal to that. Is equal to course parse selection. List generate tournament variables.holepars.length. And so what I think that should do, possible starting holes, and then, is that actually what I threw in down here? No. This needs to be possible starting holes. Now I think that display should work at least. And it's not actually going to update for the tournament yet. That's something that I probably won't do this stream, but this is going to be the essentially what the view itself is going to look like. Yeah. And let's actually just go here and say if course selected is not equal to select. And let's just throw this inside of there so you can't even select a starting hole until the user has made their course selection. Let's go ahead and tab all this one deeper. Oh, it needs to say select course. There we go. Once you select the course, it updates. Select. I don't know why that's not working. Everything else is working as intended, which is great. Those have 18 holes. If we go to easy, there's only 6. I do want it to update back to select course though. It's this. But that should be disappearing. Is equal to courses for display index. Courses for display includes select course, right? Where's courses for display at? Select course and course names. If it's not equal to select course, print course selected. This I just want to see because I'm not sure why it's not disappearing when I make that selection back to the default. It's a bit annoying. So here a course isn't selected, so it's not displayed. The second I start to scroll up here, these become available. Course selected is equal to select course. Easy. Select course. So it's because I'm getting this error, which is this. Yeah. So let's go here. Let's go if selection is not equal to -1. And then throw these in there, and then maybe that fixes the issue. Because index of, if it can't find it, which for select course, that course doesn't exist because it's not a course. So it can't find it, and when it can't find the index, it kicks out -1. I'm thinking that's probably the issue. This should prevent that code from running if select course is selected, and then we shouldn't have that issue. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so now this works. This will update when it is selected this starting hole value. And then all I need to do is update the tournament code to actually register that. Which, in principle, should be fairly easy. Another thing to think about is in tour life, where do I want to implement this at? It is a real question, probably just on this screen. So I think now what I need to do is copy this row and take it over to that view that we're looking at right there, which is this event info right here. Presented by, we don't need that. If entry fee is not paid, then this shows. And then actually what we can do is we can throw an else in here and then put our row here. And that actually should work pretty well. And then I just need to go copy my variables I created right here. I'll throw these up here. Possible starting holes in this case is going to be equal to, let's go to our course selection here. Okay, we can get rid of this. I'm thinking about it now. I might need to, when the course selection is changed, I am setting the starting hole to 1, so I did account for that. So here I just need this, and then for tour life, because the codes are already, or courses are already pre-selected, we can just use this. Do I already have tournament? Where do I establish the whole parse? Not until right here. Yeah, so I think I need this. What's the right way to go about this? Let's make this 36. And then on this initialize state, we can actually probably just throw it in this. Let's go here. Let's go future. I don't need this to be a void. Void load possible starting holes. And then let's go copy that code in here. Still not going to recognize course names. Yeah. What's a good way to get around that? I'm not sure. Season courses list. So everything is here. I just need to figure out how to get the course names. Since I'm not initializing it until after the fact. I could probably just initialize it in here. That would be an option. So let's try this. Temp index is equal to course names. Let's just copy this. Temp parse is equal to course parse temp index. How did I initialize the variable for true false? That's what I need here. That's going to be down in settings right here. So let's go find an example of one of those variables like this. What, and that was an equal to. Oh, and so this temp index is not equal to -1. It's not equal to -1. Temp parse will be equal to course parse temp index. Otherwise, we can call it this. That's not not an efficient way to do that. Let's go here. Where's my list? Generate right here. Come back down. So we're initializing just a temp par variable. That's great. And then let's go var possible starting holes is equal to temp parse dot length. Or no. list generate temp parse dot length. So I think that is exactly what I needed. And then I can get rid of, no, not that one. I can get rid of this function that I just created. We'll leave this in. And let's come down here and make sure that I did this right. Else starting hole, new value, possible starting hole should update when the view is loaded in. And so we're at New London Tech, so ideally that starting hole then should show 18. Yeah. Okay. So now we have this value updating for both regular tournaments and Tour Life tournaments. And then I'll go through off stream and make it so that actually changes the starting hole in the tournament. But the functionality is in. The view is in, which is the goal. Is that way too tall? It was way too tall. Let's go lower it for this one as well. Not that one, this one. 30. Let's save that and let's go back and do a little double, no, not Tour Life, this one. This one can be a little bit bigger. Yeah, a little more space there. I'm all for that. All right. So we've got starting hole selection in. We'll finish implementing that off stream. Still got a couple big things that are probably going to be coming out in the first update. May get postponed to the second update. We'll see. But I do intend to live stream those. So that'll be coming up. Yeah. Through the Pros out on iOS seems to have been going well. And the Android countdown has started as long as I keep that 20 and nobody leaves and it resets, which would be a bummer. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for the stream. Thanks to anybody who tunes in after the fact. As always, if you have any comments, feedback, etc., feel free to leave them down in the comments below.